Okay.
How do you maintain your authenticity, your message, while bringing on someone who's a member of the establishment or in campaign?
I'm the most anti-establishment Republican in the world.
I think people forget that Ronald Reagan was not the establishment Republican. In fact, he was the anti-establishment Republican. He is now the establishment Republican because he got elected. But I remember back in those days of 1976, I was a young guy then, but he was the guy that the establishment Republicans didn't like and said couldn't win. He had the audacity to challenge a sitting president in 1976. That was just unthinkable and unheard of. And in 1980, in the fall, late fall, Ronald Reagan was in fourth place. His campaign had run out of money, and he was pretty much written off as unelectable. I mean, Ed could speak to that probably better than me, and you might want to, about the fact that he was hardly anything like the establishment person at that point.
You know, the Republican establishment is an ever-changing entity, and I think to a certain extent, even one of our opponents basically said in 1994 when he was running that, you know, he wasn't a Reagan guy. They're all Reagan guys today, and I think the reality is that you know, I think what I bring to the table, and this is going to be a unique campaign for me. This is the only campaign I've ever been in with no donuts and no booze. So it's going to be a real struggle for me to basically, you know, and if he thinks and one of the good things is he can look at me every day and he can say, nope, I'm not going back to be a fat old guy like him. I'm going to stay slim and keep jogging. You know, I think what I bring to this table is someone that understood Democrats because I grew up in a Democrat family. I started out as a Kennedy Democrat from Massachusetts. I was part of the architect of how we became a party that brought blue-collar Democrats, working people, and built a Republican Party that I thought had great appeal. And obviously, when Ronald Reagan got elected with 59% of the vote, that was a great successful story. We tried to bring young people into the party. I've always tried to be outside of Washington. I've always tried to think outside of Washington. And my experience of late has been I've taken campaigns for friends or people that are around the country, California governor's races, California Senate races, Florida Senate races, to find out where people are. I have run a campaign every cycle, many losing campaigns, because I take on people who are not establishment people, but would be good people if they could get elected. In this particular case, I'm taking on a candidate who's not an establishment candidate who would be a great president. And I'm going to put every effort I have, because this is my last campaign. My wife will divorce me, my daughter won't talk to me, and I'm too old. And I still don't know whether I'm going to survive without the booze and the donuts. But at the end of the day, I've never done a campaign without booze or donuts. There's one line in that New York Times piece that really bothered me. So one line may have bothered others, but the part about when you got up every morning at 4:30, ran 6 to 8 miles. Please don't wake me up when you're going out.